We've had several dozen patients that we've sent through Veritas. I would say Veritas is very much that. The quality and the cost when you have that come together is amazing. My name is Dr. Rod Story. I'm a family doctor. I've lived in Moscow, Idaho since 2009. Been a family doctor for 20 years. I'm part of a group of physicians that works out of a clinic called Story Family Medicine. Yes, it's named after me, but it got much bigger than I ever thought it would be. We have grown into a pretty large clinic in our community, and one of our favorite things is we have a lot of services now that we offer. We're a cash price pharmacy through our clinic. We offer cash prices for laboratory testing, on average about 90% less than what is charged at the hospital across the street. We do all of our own urgent care after hours because we love seeing patients that we can take care of in short matter. We just really like what we get to do because it's pretty fresh and straightforward. As I was looking at going back to being a family doctor after working in the hospital for years, I knew how miserable it was to work in basically an insurance industry model, one where everything that you touched or did was directly influenced by insurance. And I thought that was not only burdensome or hard for doctors, but really hard on patients. And I wanted to do something different. As a family doctor, when you're caring for the basics and doing them well, and you're here with a person and wanting to give them good advice, it's like you got to say, well, here's what I recommend, but oh, wait a sec, I got to pull it back until I can check with your insurance. That's a lousy way to practice. And for us to do something really different has been refreshing. We've referred quite a few patients now to Veritas Surgery Center, and with good reason, partly because I know the doctors that are involved in the care. So the surgeons that are involved in the surgery center who are doing care through it, our surgeons are already used. They're also surgeons that I've lived in community with for a while. So it's not like it's a fly-by-night doctor. They're people I know who I have great confidence with that I would have sent them there anyways. But here it is, a much more straightforward process, so I can get a hold of someone right away. I can get that connection going. We can get a price for what that's going to look like. I can even begin enhancing the care or coordinating that care as we're thinking about that surgery. If the surgery is not right for Veritas, they'll work hard to help find a good situation. So it's actually been a really great service all around. Probably the best story is my son-in-law had an appendix go bad. He was on a health share, but he and his young family have to be really careful about the money that they spend. I thought, well, let's call Veritas and see what they can do. Got a hold of Dr. Abraham, who's the general surgeon. He was able to work through a plan and get him seen in the next day and surgery planned for 2 days later. What we're seeing is that same care can be delivered with excellence and at a fraction of the cost through Veritas and surgery centers. And as far as our clinic population, about half of them have traditional insurance. Most of those patients have seen their deductible become very large, and frankly, it plays a big role in the decisions they make for where they get procedures or where they go for specialty care, particularly where they go for surgeries. The other half are health shares, and they're very mindful of how much it's going to cost, not only because they want to be good stewards to the other people that they are in a cooperative with, but because they know that they're going to be the ones writing the paycheck and then getting reimbursed for that. Because we live in a marketplace where we're actually walking with patients through this care, we're aware that, man, once they leave our clinic, where are they going? And so with looking for others, but also being excited by others like Veritas Surgery, who are creating the next step, the specialty care, the procedures, the surgeries, and doing them on a really straightforward cash price, man, it's a game changer. When you are free to actually serve the customer directly, of course you're going to be driven to say, how can we do this not only with excellence, but how can we do it kindly? How can we make sure you get the best experience? How can we communicate better? And I see that happening through Veritas, not just at the end of a scalpel or at whether you got a great outcome that way, but whether you actually were treated well.